Black magic, God, Holy Ghost, Lord, orgasmic, order more acid, more than 4 tablets, portal door passage, born before mortal war happened. We were lords way before we were poor black men. Now we like Catherine, only having 4 Jacksons. Sword of pure magic, slaughter 4 dragons. Heat like corduroy fabric, door-to-door tactics. Easy like tortoise on boarded floor backspins. Rapping like the man that created it, and I just play with it. Shine radiant, raising it, sunbathing it. Voice tone sharper than razor tip when I aim it at megaliths, make them raise and lift. You can't relate to this, even if you paint a pic of me and you and somehow make the faces switch. I like to babysit, throne made of baby skin, donated by natives that procreate in sin. They gon' need to raise the rim, they gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Put the globe on my middle finger and made it spin. They gon' need to raise the rim, they gon' need the cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Even Damien and Satan is afraid of him. I heard the devil's Tasmanian. Raps made them spin fast, vast, hailing winds. Abstract radiance. Underneath my crack cranium is gas radium. Hash Cascadian, cash cascading in. At the end of the movie, the crack baby wins. Pack track stadiums, clap, clap, praising him. Tap that waitress, have crack, crap.
Peace, family. Out here once again, 125th with Red Pill, enjoying this nice spring day with my people in Harlem. What's going on, Red?
Just chilling, you know, doing the same thing, soaking up the energy out here. You already.
That's dope, that's dope. Whose clothing line you representing right there, man?
Oh, shout out to my good brother, Mr. Apologetic, Mr. Unapologetic out of Houston, Texas. Shout out to Universal Sankofa, another clothing line. Those brothers, they got it popping down there. That's the best thing I could say. They got it popping in their town and whatnot. And when I went out there about a month ago, the brother blessed me with some articles. We basically bought it. He got some of my stuff, I got some of his stuff. So of course I gotta represent the brother unapologetically black, you know what I mean? You know, don't get in your feelings all in my more, like, yeah. But yeah.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Listen, Red, man. Oh, before we start, let the PO, it's coming, it's almost here. Family, it's almost here.
Sooner than you expected.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Gathering of the Metaphysical Masters.
Next weekend, Gathering of the Metaphysical Masters, June 3rd. Brooklyn, New York, St. Francis College. Aseer The Duke of Tears, Brother Panic, and Dr. Phil Valentine. Legend. I will be in the building. Blue will be in the building. Hopefully KT will be in the building. But KT will be in the building this weekend. Can't forget him. At Nicholas, Brooklyn, doing the Avengers Infinity Wars Decoded free. The doors are open for everybody, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. KT the Arch Degree. Please be in the building and show my brother support. He's pulling up. Dance Africa Weekend.
And we got the Sonetta TV Awards in July.
Sonetta TV Awards, July 7th. We just did a clip earlier. Symphony Space.
On Broadway.
96 and Broadway. Be there. All right. Performing live, Cambatta, Red and Blue. And we'll be presenting awards. And we'll be picking up some as well. One.
Cambatta and Black Magic, man. You forgot my name.
Cambatta and Black Magic. How could I forget?
I'm like DJ Khaled, man. I'm the, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I produce this shit.
Listen.
But listen, man, almost a year to this day. It's pretty interesting. I came across an article and I said I got to talk to Red Pill. About last year around this same time, we did a show dealing with AI and
artificial intelligence. Because niggas might think you're talking about Iverson, but go ahead.
Right, that's true. And after that, we also did the In Too Deep. That was a paid YouTube lecture that we put on YouTube or whatever. That you've done extensive research on this AI situation, artificial intelligence. So I'm noticing Amazon, the biggest company in the world, the richest man, what's the name? Jeff
Bezos.
Jeff
Bezos.
Bezos.
Or Bezos. Yeah.
Right. So the richest man in the world who owns Amazon might just be the one who brings about what you've been talking about for a year, Red Pill. This facial recognition, this minority report, this you walking down the street and the police is like, hey, you got a parking ticket, come here. Facial recognition, my brother, artificial intelligence. Let me just read you this article real quick. This is from Fortune magazine.
Fortune.
Amazon and Google are cultivating quiet ties with police and military that's becoming a big problem. Civil rights groups are outraged about Amazon's supply of facial recognition technology to law enforcement organizations in the U.S. The American Civil Liberties Union and 40 other groups on Tuesday demanded that Amazon stop allowing governments to use its recognition tool, which the company says can monitor all faces in group photos, crowded events, and public places. Existing customers include the city of Orlando and the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Oregon, which has built a database of 300,000 mugshot photos to use with recognition. With recognition, the government can now build a system to automate the identification and tracking of anyone, the ACLU warned in a blog post. With this technology, police will be able to determine who attends protests. ICE could seek to continuously monitor immigrants as they embark on new lives. Cities might routinely track their own residents, whether they have reasons to suspect criminal activity or not. As with other surveillance technologies, these systems are certain to be disproportionately aimed at minority communities. Amazon is defending its tech. Our quality of life would be much worse today if we outlawed new technology, because some people could choose to abuse the technology, it said in a statement. Imagine if customers couldn't buy a computer because it was possible to use that computer for illegal purposes. So Amazon came up with their argument.
Yeah.
Nigga, if we thought that way about computers, none of you niggas would have Facebook.
Exactly.
YouTube and all the other stuff that you abuse.
Yeah.
So we hear the arguments from both sides. Technology, we're supposed to be advancing as a human race, but I guess with advancement comes some things that we're not that quite comfortable with. Red, you talked about this for over a year. Talk to me about what you're hearing about what Amazon is doing, my brother.
Well, first of all, you know, we living in a day and time where the invasion of privacy, and I'm not talking about Cardi B's album, I'm talking about reality, where the invasion of privacy is something that's at the forefront of a lot of people's reality, meaning that the government, big tech, big data, the deep state, and other entities are working hand in hand as a conglomerate, meaning they're working together to not only strip away the quote-unquote rights that the people, or whatever remaining rights that people have under privacy, meaning to protect their privacy, they're working arduously to strip that away. You dig what I'm saying? Not only are they working arduously to strip that away, but they're working on ways to increase the surveillance inside what is known as the surveillance state, which is post 9/11 America and whatnot. So this invasion of privacy, meaning that as a result of facial recognition, police officers that are armed with body cameras could patrol the streets and basically through facial recognition pull up the quote-unquote criminal records or even the threat levels of unsuspecting citizens that are only going about their business, walking, you know, going amongst society like other civilians go amongst society. You know, 8 times out of 10 when somebody's outside carrying themselves, they're going about their business to provide for either themselves or their family, putting something on the table, looking for work, you know what I mean? Going out to do work, laboring, you know what I mean? Such as, you know, case in point, some of the immigrants of melanin complexion, you know, because brothers and sisters from the continent of Africa, along with brothers and sisters from the Caribbean islands, are being snatched up on the way to work, while at work, coming home from work, things of that nature, by ICE, by deportation or detention agencies and whatnot, being detained and then shipped back to their country, destroying their lives or destroying the setup that they had, their families and everything in quote-unquote America. And they're also doing that to Mexicans, Latin Americans, you know, and other people who are in America allegedly, illegally and whatnot. So we got that situation. Then we have already a very heightened situation with law enforcement and unarmed black civilians or melanated civilians or aboriginal indigenous civilians of both genders, male and female, who were being abused, brutalized, wrongfully accused, right? Wrongfully convicted, murdered, detained, and all kind of other things abuse-wise are happening at the hands of very rogue officers. People refer to these people as race soldiers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Suspecting white supremacists, like Tariq Nasheed calls them. But we've already have an abuse of power and heightened tensions. They just stopped a man the other day, and he caught it on film because he had foliage on his car. Meaning that because of the leaves and whatnot that were trapped on his windshield, the police officers pulled him over and was saying that that's an offense that you can catch a ticket and even be abducted for. So we're seeing the fact that this new technology that they're developing is sort of like Black Mirror. Remember Black Mirror breakdowns and whatnot?
All the Patreons, my Patreon subscribers, shout out to you. We did several episodes of Black Mirror on the Patreon page.
Yeah.
Blue Pill and Supernova Islam.
Facts. And for anybody who've watched Black Mirror on Netflix, you understand what I'm talking about when I refer to the fact that that series shows you how they're going to utilize technology in a far too near dystopian future to do what? To abuse the technology to for you know, in the hands of the wrong people, most notably government and military. And as you can see by that article, it's pointing out that Amazon, like he said, one of the biggest data mining, not just the biggest tech companies, one of the biggest data mining companies on the planet, because they're getting all of your shopping information, a lot of your credit card information, a lot of your browsing history. Google has your browsing history. Facebook has your social media activity. Amazon has your buying history and also your shopping and inquiry history. They're coming together and they're going to utilize that to sell that data to military and sell that data as well to law enforcement. So remember the rating system that rose up in China that they're utilizing, this almost similar to an episode on Black Mirror. For the family that's not familiar what it is that I'm talking about, China right now, the Republic of China, with the citizenry of
oh shit, yeah, the social, what is it called?
The social credit score.
That is crazy.
Yes.
That is crazy.
So the social
straight
credit
out of Black
score,
Mirror.
Facts. So the social credit score working with this new facial recognition, because they're already implementing that. Let's put that on the record. Amazon and Apple and other American conglomerate unicorn companies don't necessarily function inside of the Republic of China. They have their own brands. So Alibaba is doing what Amazon is doing in America. Alibaba already is working on facial recognition. So they've already implemented what is known as the social credit score system in China. So this is how it works. I'm in China chilling, right? I'm on my way to get some Chinese food, right?
And your score ain't up to par.
My score ain't up to par. I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to eat that 5-star Chinese shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So because of my score,
you can't get 5-star.
I get stopped at the door.
Go to the
and
hood.
I can't scream racism. I'm in China. I'm a Chinaman.
Right.
So because this is a /communist /capitalist government now, you know what I'm talking about? They're discriminating against their people based off of classism, based off of a social status system. So if you got a warrant, your status is going to be sunken. If you if you a person of interest, you have a lower status. If you stand in these streets and talk against the Chinese government, you lower your status. There's certain airplanes you can't get on. There's certain restaurants you can't eat in. You can't even sleep in a 5-star hotel. You got to go to the
This ain't
hostel,
a joke. I want everybody to realize that this is for real. This ain't Black Mirror, the show. This is for real.
This is a country with billions, more than America. This is a country that's seen as the next superpower. This is a country where their technology is more advanced than America's. In the rollout that they do in China, all of the markets in America pay attention to that because, like I said, they're leading in technology. And also, this is a country where they are a dictatorship, posed as a democratic party. You know what I mean? Like, it's an autocracy. So,
but you go right.
So like Russia and like China, where the government is in bed with big business and they're ruling everything. So the autocracy in America, and all you niggas that, you know what I'm talking about, still blown away by Meghan Markle and what happened to that plutocracy or that autocracy or that aristocracy over there in the UK and whatnot. So Saudi Arabia, the UK, all of these places where monarchies that rule with an iron fist and the people are just basically peons. You know what I mean? And they're utilizing technology, artificial intelligence, facial recognition. They're also utilizing what you saw in Minority Report, precog, pre-recognition. They'll knock you off for a crime that you didn't even commit 10 years. They'll knock you off for something that you was going to do 10 years later. They have facial recognition where they could recognize your face and be like, yo, that's the face of a terrorist. We want to neutralize him before he grows into a full-grown terrorist. He's a baby terrorist. We want to clip his wings. You know what I'm talking about? We want to clip his terrorist wings right now. That's what they're doing. So you're dealing with these governments who are becoming more dictator-like. So now, in a dictatorship where the people don't have any rights, they don't have any privacy, they can't kick that constitution, and what about my rights, or what about my privacy? You can't be watching me through my phone? No. Some people even agree to give their rights away. That's not the future that we're heading in. If these companies have it their way, they're going to dictate a lot of things. And like I said, some of you niggas won't even be able to leave your house because your face is hot. Literally. You know what I'm talking about? Your face is hot. So the minute you step out in the street, eagle-eye, enemy of the state, they're going to start sending all kind of signals and they're going to run down on you. They might even send a drone to come and get you. Facts.
Red, I know Elon Musk and I know for sure Bill Gates said that he feels as though artificial intelligence, they warned the people, the corporations against AI. And they said, I don't know if it's, some people, sometimes,
real.
Yeah, sometimes it's fake or whatever, but they said it will be the end of humanity as we know it. Like you said, it's probably fake.
They're
playing both sides. They're playing both sides. But I want to ask you that. Do you feel as though, two questions. Will AI, this advancement in AI, will this cause the end of humanity as we know it? And is advancing AI, is this inevitable? Is this where we're supposed to go? Is this how humanity is supposed to end within every civilization? Because we're AI and within ourselves. This human body is the most advanced computer on the face of the earth.
That's right.
So answer that, my brother.
The existence of megalithic, monolithic structures such as the Giza pyramids and the multiple pyramids that have been put out is a telltale sign that there was advanced forms of technology and intelligence on this planet before we arrived with our dumbass, dumbed down selves. Okay? Humans that were made into mankind who were grafted and created, and they came on top of this quote unquote food chain and did what? Began to feast on the animal kingdom and everything under it. So it's only inevitable that somebody that was grafted and created will create something that's going to rule over it, because they would rather create that before they hand over the reins to me or to you or me. So the self-sabotaging ways of this inferior complex who have shown on multiple occasions the willingness to destroy everything around it before it relinquishes power is retarded and dumb enough to create something more powerful than it.
Well, it's ego-based.
It's very ego-based, but they would create an artificial life form. They would create something that is above it for it to rule them, so they can basically know that it will destroy and rule everything under them. That's why they're the ones programming it. But it's going to backfire on them once these computers gain consciousness. And you know what I'm talking about? The computers, through artificial learning and through their AI, they're going to be able to, you know, determine and dictate who's the real cancer of the planet. But will they even have that kind of mind state? Because that's not how they're being programmed by these Europeans and these Indians and other people inside of Silicon Valley. They're actually programming them to be racist.
But I'm gonna tell you, Red, and I want to get your opinion on this. I don't even think it's a European problem. I'm gonna tell you, I've seen brothers willing to destroy a whole movement, even though they agree with the tenets of the movement. Yeah. Just because they couldn't be the head nigga in charge.
That's right.
That's straight ego.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is that we keep saying European. I seen it time and time again with melanated brothers and sisters.
That's right.
We just don't have the power to show how big our ego is like they have the power to show how big our ego is. So what do you? That's my opinion on it. What's your take on that? Because I done seen it over and over again.
A lot of niggas got white blood in them. A lot of niggas got that devil and angel on their shoulder. They have internal struggles where they're dealing with foreign agents inside of their DNA that has them going. There's an internal war in a lot of these niggas' bodies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Inside of their brains, inside of their motherboard. Inside of their operating system, there's a war inside. There's a war going on inside. You dig what I'm saying? And they're in conflict with themselves, with their higher and their lower selves, with their self-love and their self-hate, with their sabotaging selves versus the self that's about victory, with their victim self based off of the programming that they received from babies, from little ones. They were taught that they were worth nothing. They were taught that they wasn't about nothing. They were taught that there was a race that preceded them that were more powerful than them, that were more superior than them, that were more advanced than them, that were smarter than them. They gave them the keys to the whip or to the push button. You know what I'm talking about? And that created all kind of viruses and whatnot and short circuits inside of people's brains. So even before the European probably showed up on the planet, we were fighting those evils and whatnot, jealousy, envy, and all of these lower frequencies and lower selves. But when the lower self manifested in the form of a man, and when the lower force manifested in the form of an actual being, the same way that disease manifests in the form of cancer and white blood cells, well, goddamn it, then it really got funky on this place. So, you know, that's an age-old problem, and it's dealing with people dealing with their shortcomings and their weaknesses versus their strengths. And it applies to everybody. It's not a white or black thing. I'm glad you pointed that out. Yes, it applies to everybody. It's a human thing. You dig what I'm saying? It's about self-mastery. You know what I'm talking about? It's about knowing your self-worth. And a lot of people deal with that, and as a result of them being self-saboteurs, as a result of them being agent provocateurs, as a result of them being people who are working against the best interest for their people, I mean, it's a no-brainer, fam.
I think, Red, I think a lot of people don't want to contribute to this technology, but it almost feels as though you will get left behind if you don't embrace technology. So when the new shit come out, when the new Facebook come out 5 years from now, everybody wants to hop on board because they're going to literally get left behind if they don't embrace it. So with embracing technology and not getting left behind, it's like we also get closer and closer to the demise of humanity, it seems. So how do you feel about embracing technology, but at the same time knowing that by embracing it, by using Wi-Fi And I'm sure when they got 5G, you might use it, my brother. You might have a little virtue, brother Rich, popping out of your screen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
popping
saying?
up on me.
So how do you feel?
Pop up Rich.
Do you feel like a hypocrite embracing technology but talking shit about Bill Gates and Elon Musk at the same time?
Not at all, because I understand, like I said before, technology has always been present. The existence of the pyramids, the existence of the megalithic structures, the existence of the Fibonacci sequence, the existence of the binary code, zeros and ones, proves, you know what I'm talking about? The existence of the divination system. It proves that technology is not, it doesn't have a nationality. Technology is in my system. The existence of the STEM and the existence of the STEAMs that Marcus Garvey brought forward, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, that preceded Bill Gates, that preceded Elon Musk. You dig what I'm saying? The fact that the algorithm was created by a Moor, right? That preceded whatever somebody else brought to us. So no, I'm not gonna turn my back. I know that we live in a technological era. We live in a digital era. So you mean to tell me if we lived in a Stone Age, niggas is still coming around with that wood? I don't think so. You gotta adapt to the age that you live in. So when I utilize this technology, I'm gonna also do the research on how do I protect myself when utilizing the technology with the diodes, certain kind of crystals and stones and things of that nature. You know what I mean? As long as I have the research on the dangers of 5Gs, that I know even if I indulge in that 5Gs, I'm gonna have to indulge in it with the knowledge of the negative effects of it. So I have to make that choice and whatnot. But do I forsake coding or building new realities? Do I forsake virtual? Do I forsake augmented reality? Do I forsake the pros versus the cons? Hell no. Hell no. I balance it out. I know what it is, and I'm fully aware of it. And when I'm in that sector, or when I'm in that marketplace, or when I'm in that space, I gotta operate with awareness or consciousness. Henceforth, that's why we do what we do, because you gotta know certain things. Don't go into anything ignorant of what you going into. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care what age you live in, and I don't care what it is that you do, because so many of us are indulging in things that are not healthy, that are taking us all the way back, that are setting us back hundreds of years. And I'm saying that it's not technology at the front of that. It's this ratchet shit. It's the deaf culture. You know what I'm talking about? It's this homosexuality. It's this anti-life shit. It's a lot of that. So let them pick up the bodies. So you can't necessarily say that the technology is at the forefront of that. Algorithms are basically digital computations that equate to solutions to problems that people have recognized or people have pointed out. Meaning that the only thing an algorithm is something that's filling the void. How many voids does Black America have right now, Rich? There are 5 new economies that have risen up as a result of technology. The gig economy. The gig economy is Fiverr, Upwork. You know what I'm talking about? Where the freelancers and people who can't get hired by these corporations or these white companies, you get on a gig, you become part of the gig economy. Fiverr and Lyft and all of that, gig economy, sharing economy. The fact that I got extra clothes in my closet, I get on eBay and I make an extra income stream. The fact that I might be doing knitting and whatnot and sewing and whatnot. Now I'm on Etsy. I have a new income stream. The fact that I have an extra room in my crib. Now I'm part of Airbnb sharing economy. I got a new income stream. Nigga. The gig economy, the gift economy, the share economy. You know what I'm talking about? The collaboration economy. The gift economy, the barter economy. Come on, man. All of that is being run off of Web 2.0, and it's utilizing technology. So how is technology your enemy? You know how many people are becoming millionaires? If it's not just about the money, you know how many people are able to get off of the plantation, don't gotta wake up and answer to nobody who don't look like you, who don't have your care.
I'm sorry, I had to say this, cause you're dropping it right now, my brother.
Clipping me in mid-flight like that shit is a goaltender.
Everybody's like, yo, Rich, why you listen? You're dropping it right now. So it's just like when people say money's the root of evil, then people say, no, it ain't money. It's the people using the money. So it's not that the technology is the root of this current evil. It's the people who use the technology. Whether you choose to troll online or whether you choose to support or whatever you choose to do, right? Is that the same? Is that the same case?
One of the most instrumental, powerful tools that you could ever have in your household, bar none, is your personal computer. There's nothing in your house fucking with that, okay? Not even your TV or your microwave. You know what I'm talking about? I know you niggas with smart microwaves will try to stand up. The most powerful, because it could be used as a weapon, or it could be used as, you know what I'm saying, whatever you use it for.
Just like money.
Just like money. I could utilize $10 million to do what? Fill a lot of voids, make on some God's plan shit, make a lot of single mothers happy, you know what I'm saying? Make a lot of children, open up a lot of opportunities, or I could spend that $10 million on weapons. Bombs, Dracos, EFNs, grenades. I could put money on niggas' heads that I don't like, you know what I'm talking about? I could get it done. I could clean up these streets overnight. So it's not the money that did it, it's the mind behind the money. It's the mind of the man who got the money. That's what we're talking about.
But Red, it seems like you always have to, for me studying history, for me studying what's happening today in modern times, it seems as though you always have to baby humanity. So the ancient Cometians or Egyptians, certain people didn't know the mental netta. Certain people couldn't see the priest or wasn't privy to the mystery system and the ancient knowledge. So it seems like right now certain people aren't mature enough for the internet. So you got countries like Asia who restrict the internet. We call them bad, but this is how they advance, because they put restriction on people that they feel aren't, you know, you can't have a certain amount of babies. In America, you can have as many babies as you want. You know what happens? People got 10 babies, can't take care of them. People have 15 babies. A dude got 15 babies, don't take care of one of them. The woman is forced to take care of all of them. So it seems like almost, it's sad, but when you give people more freedom, it's almost like jail. You ever seen a dude that come home from jail? He done read books, he's in fit, he's in shape, he's doing it all. As soon as he gets a taste of freedom, he don't work out no more, he don't read no more, he becomes a bum again. But when he was in jail and the restrictions was placed on him, the dude was sharp as a mother effing nail. So does the restrictions cause people to be more sharp?
Well, discipline leads to self-mastery, right? So the dude who was locked up, he was submitting to a level of discipline. That discipline, because there were certain times that he could hit the yard, there were certain times that he was allowed to stay in the yard, there were certain times that he was able to eat. So he already had a worked out regimen.
He was being babied.
You know what I'm talking about?
He was being babied. So he was being babied.
It's not being baby.
It is.
Is the man in the army a baby?
If they telling you when you could do something, yes, my brother.
But
if they telling you when you can wake up,
babying,
if they tell you gotta wake up at 6 o'clock, and then when you come home you don't wake up to 2 in the afternoon, you was babied in jail. That's why you got up at 6 in the morning. But when you have free will, you don't get up at 6 in the morning. You get up at 2 in the afternoon.
You had a regiment in jail. That's what you had. Okay. I was in boot camp before. We had a regiment, not the military, the jail. We had a regiment. And when we followed that regiment, we were being programmed. You okay? They were programming us to be a soldier's programming, because outside of the physical work, the physical PE and other things, they were also giving us other lessons that were dealing with mind programming, drug programs, and all of that other stuff to get us into that kind of mind state to have us come home and be good citizens and whatever. When you're in the army or when you're in basic training, you're getting this regiment. This regiment is building character, is building discipline, is building order and self-mastery. Then they implement what? They start programming you to become a killer.
Brainwashing takes place.
The brainwashing takes place because once they get you locked into this regimen, then they could begin to program. So once they begin to program, the brainwashing takes place, and then they put you on the battlefield. And once you catch those bodies, there's no turning back. You could become a killer machine. Or some people short circuit and they can't do it. They don't have it in them, and they wind up spazzing out, getting on drugs. You know what I mean? Having mental health issues. You know, they can't live with being a killer or a soldier and whatnot. But some people, it's built in. It's inside of them, and it takes certain kind of discipline, certain kind of self-mastery to bring that about. I won't necessarily call it babying, because I remember there were days when I was lacking in discipline, and I was wishing for something, an organization, a group, something to come along to put me back on path, because I was slipping. You feel me? Like, look at the FOI, for example, the Fruit of Islam. There were brothers and sisters who were considered to be on the edge, walking on the edge of life. You know what I mean? Flirting with death all over the place. Drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, all kind of shit. Killers, hitmen. And then they got into the discipline of the Nation of Islam. Were they being babied? They were being babied? Yeah. Well,
if you can't do it on your own, if you can't do it on your own free will, you being babied, my brother.
Well, even in the art of war, when you study Sun Tzu, even when you study the samurais, even when you study ninjas, even when you study the assassins, even when you study certain hitmen, there's just a level of discipline that they practice. There's just a level of self-mastery that they practice to be more successful in what it is that they may be doing. So in the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, they do the drills. They're very disciplined. They're very military-minded or militant-minded and whatnot. And I think that that helps shapes those individuals to be more upstanding civilians or more upstanding citizens in their community. Because keep in mind, it really is about the community as well, based off of the community that you live in. Now, certain people live in communities where the rules in the community are already laid out, and shit is strict in those communities. You can't do anything in those communities that you want to, because there's a penalty system already set up in certain communities. So if you get out of line, you get your head bust. And certain people go into those communities, and it's almost like an unwritten rule. They know, yo, it's certain things that I can't do, because these niggas is dealing with a level of discipline in this community, and if I slip up, I could get my shit bust. So,
indeed. Just me personally, brother. I want to be able to do all those things without somebody telling me to do it.
That's right. I
want to be able to wake up at 6 without the FOI, the NOI,
on your back,
the white man,
or
whoever, the Indian man, the boss man. I want to be able to do all the workout. I want to do all of that.
What about these initial stages? Some of us.
Oh, that's great. No, that's perfect. That. But I agree with. I needed that.
When I'm in the gym, I need a spotter.
Yeah, I need that. But you're not supposed to have a permanent spotter.
Not at all. You don't need it. It's called enablers. Instead of babying, it's called an enabler. You know what I mean? Like when they teach you in NA or AA or the 12-step program, you don't need anybody to enable you. But if you have somebody who could support you, if you have somebody who could, like on basketball teams, LeBron is running the ball, but he has a team working with him. You know what I'm talking about? KD is running the rock, but they work off of teamwork. One person can't get on that floor and do what they do against a team of other players working against them.
But LeBron is a leader, so he's not.
You're a leader,
he's a leader.
But he's working through his team. It's still teamwork. He's considered the quarterback and a leader of that team, because what is he? He's an exemplary example of self-mastery. So the rest of the team look up to him as their captain and their leader, but it's still teamwork, family. It's still teamwork. So we still need teamwork in order to be on this battlefield that we're on, in order to be on these front lines that we're on. We can't do it by ourselves.
Indeed.
Facts.
Indeed. So to close it out, my brother, Oh man, this is such a. You've been talking about this for such a long time. What would you want to close out with? Because you did In Too Deep. You did what was the other one you did?
The evolution will be digitized.
Digitized.
Very wild.
Bro, you've been talking about this for quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess repetition is the master teacher, they say. Repetition. So to be repetitive, what would you tell the people once again about technology? And you know what, I want to bring this up. I read a comment the other day.
Yes.
And you know what the internet has made me realize?
What's that?
A lot of people full of shit. A lot of people are full of shit. Somebody commented on a Griff video. They're like, yo, Griff, nobody's checking for you, nobody was checking for you, and nobody will be checking for you. And in my mind, I'm like, if you took 10 minutes out of your time
watching the video
to watch it and comment, you're checking for it.
Yeah.
So it made me realize, don't believe, just because they wear rap or locks or whatever, and they say this or that, you can't take everybody on their word.
No, I mean, you don't know who's watching your videos. That's not necessarily how they look.
Right.
Bruh, I've been in places and spaces where your channel was on.
Yeah.
You be like, yo, how did y'all find this shit? Like, what are y'all doing watching this? Like, and the people that I meet on my daily travels show me that there's no look. You know what I'm talking about? There's no phenotype. There's no look to the people, the viewership of these channels and this information and this light. So what I would say is this: when we do these lectures, we're not doing throwaway lectures, we're planting seeds. So if we talk about these things in 2014, we're doing follow-ups in 2018 to see how have those seeds grown. Because the words that we speak, the ideas and the concepts and all of these things are still seeds. That's why I'm also very careful about what I talk about is going to happen and is prophesized to happen, because to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, those things might not have even been a play in motion until you spoke on it, until you put your energy and your light behind it. So I like to preference what we're talking about by saying allegedly a lot, because it's not real until you necessarily make it real. These are plans. This is called predictive programming. Case in point, why Elon Musk or one of them could comfortably get on a stage and try to forecast what AI is going to be in the future or what technology is going to be in the future. They're planting seeds. It's called inception. They're planting seeds in your mind that quote-unquote technology is going to destroy the world. It's going to make you not want to participate in it. You're only going to be participating in it from a consumer standpoint, right? They get the advantage because they get to now dominate that field or that sector, and they get to put their faces on the Mount Rushmore as if they're the ones behind it. And that's not necessarily all the case. So I would say that the book that Wayne Chandler came out with, Ancient Future, understand that you are...
That's classic. That's classic.
Super classic.
I read that a couple of times.
You are technology in the flesh. Your body is a supercomputer, yes, right? All that fly shit that you talking, yeah, supercomputer bars. But you live in an era that is identified as the digital era, right? And they've also identified the era that preceded that as the, what was that? What was the word they called it? Starts with an A. Analog era. So for those who stayed in the analog, you might not be able to navigate through this new digital era, right? You're making it through. You're there for the updates. You know about certain apps, but you're not behind the scenes pulling the trigger. Those who have adapted to the digital age or the digital era or the digital boom, they're benefiting off of the knowledge and off of the plethora of information that has been available and has been, it's open source, meaning that it's out there for anybody to grab. So I would say this: balance is always the key, moderation is always the key. Don't watch this video and talk and get on your soapbox about how you don't do technology and all of that shit, Nick. The YouTube is technology, that app and that phone is. So pay attention to how you operate inside of this sector, but don't approach it from a victim standpoint. Don't do it. Grab this shit by the horns and understand that the solution is inside of the technology, along with the apocalyptic end of the world doomsday scenario that you keep applying to your smartphone. We don't want to hear that right now. We want to connect with people around the world in real time. The democratization of new media is showing you revolutionary tactics in real time. What this brother's doing right now, you're broadcasting to thousands of people without using a major network. You're using YouTube as a major network, but you're not using CBS and Fox, and there's no executive producer, there's no group of white people in a room writing everything that we're saying. We're allowed to talk to the world in real time and connect with people in real time. That's just one smidgen of the 100,000 things that we can do right now with technology that could benefit us. I could point out 1,000 negative things, but I could also point out 100,000 positive things where we could go fishing for some power, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. So build your own shit, learn how to code, build your own platforms, build your own technology. Go in Africa and get with the Africans who are at the front of the technological boom. If you gotta go and outsource to Fiverr and go to Pakistan, Punjabi and them, you go find out what they doing. You know what I'm talking about? Go and find out what the Manchurian and the Asians are doing. Technology is not a white man thing. It's not a Silicon Valley thing. It's not a European thing. It's a global thing. The globe is participating. If you're stuck in America and you haven't traveled, you just thinking that it's a white man thing. It's not that. There's multiple races that are dominating in technology in the whole sector right now. Find your place if you want it. If not, stay in the analog world and do what you do. Like I said, balance. We need people to turn on their natural technology. All you people who saying that y'all computers, we need y'all to continue to turn on and to show that to the world that the brain and the mind and the body are the ultimate machines and whatnot. So love and light, and don't get you a sex bot. You know what I mean? Get the real thing. You know I couldn't leave that out. Love and light to the family.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Thank you for this segment.
Keep mentioning these sex bots, man. You
know I
got
couldn't leave them out of
Bro,
the
what's up with you and these sex bots, man?
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so, you know.
Okay.
We're going to get back.
Info, man.
Red Pillar. Patreon / Red Pillar. twinthealbum.com. You know what I'm talking about? Kings County. .bigcartel.com. Yeah, that's what it is.
Bro, are we gonna do this video for our Patreons? What we supposed
Yeah. I need talking about technology. Anybody out there with an extra Macintosh, laptop, or desktop, they keep crashing on me. You know what I mean? So once I get my presentation together, I'm finishing up a book, Facts 2020, and some other stuff. But love and light to the family. Yeah, we gonna have that for the Patrons. We gonna feed y'all Patreon. We got plates for you. All right, peace.
Peace.
Shit. Black magic. God. Holy Ghost. Lord. Shit. Pata. Orgasmic. Order more acid. More than 4 tablets. Portal door passage. Born before mortal war happened. We were lords way before we were poor black men. Now we like Catherine, only having 4 Jacksons. Sword of pure magic, slaughter 4 dragons. Heat like corduroy fabric, door-to-door tactics. Easy like tortoise on boarded floor backspins. Rapping like the man that created it, and I just play with it. Shine radiant, raising it, sunbathing it. Voice tone sharper than razor tip when I aim it at megaliths, make them raise and lift. You can't relate to this, even if you paint a pic of me and you and somehow make the faces switch. I like to babysit, throne made of baby skin. Donated by natives that procreate in sin. They gon' need to raise the rim. They gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Put the globe on my middle finger and made it spin. They gon' need to raise the rim. They gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Even Damien and Satan is afraid of him. I heard the devil's Tasmanian. Raps made him spin fast, hailing winds. Abstract radiance. Underneath my crack cranium is gas radium. Hash Cascadian, cash cascading in. At the end of the movie, the crack baby wins. Pack track stadiums, clap, praising him. Tap that waitress, have crack.